Good morning, students. Welcome to the science class. Lesson number 14, the sky. The topic is the Earth's satellite. The Earth's satellite is the moon, a celestial body revolving around the planet is called a satellite. The moon is the only natural satellite of the Earth. It revolves around the Earth. It does not have light of its own. It reflects the light from the sun during the night. You can think of the second brightest object in the sky after sun. Yes, it is the moon. The moon is the only natural satellite of the Earth. A natural satellite is an object that orbits a planet or other body larger than itself and which is not a man-made, because man-made satellites are called artificial satellites. They do not have the light of their own. They also receive their light from the sun. The most familiar natural satellite is the Earth's moon. Thus, satellites of other planets are often called moon. The moon revolves around the Earth. Except Mercury and Venus, other planets have one or more natural satellites. But Mars has two small moons. They are called Phobos and Deimos. Jupiter has more than 16 moons and Saturn has more than 20 moons. Uranus has at least 22 natural satellites and Neptune has 8 satellites. The moon, or the Chanda Mama, we call it Chanda Mama, has always been most sought after heavenly body in the solar system. It is the natural satellite of the Earth and it is closest to the Earth. So it is a nearest neighbor to the Earth. It is about 1/4 the size of the Earth. Its diameter is 3,500 km. The moon's atmosphere is The moon has been found totally unlike Earth. There is no air, no water, no rain. It means there is no weather at the moon at all. So there is intense heat during daytime and at night it is very cold. Its surface is covered with dark brown dust. It is made up of rocks, hills, and there are hundreds of craters. These are created due to the fallings of meteors and meteorites of its surface. The highest mountain on moon is about 11.5 into 10 cube meter high. It is higher than Mount Everest. The moon does not have its own light. It reflects some of the sunlight that falls on its surface. As the moon revolves around the Earth, the shape of the lit means light, surface of the moon appears to change every day. These apparent changing shapes are called moon phases. The lunar phases follow a cycle, that is full moon to waning moon to new moon to waxing moon and last is full moon. The moon is actually the movement of the moon. The moon has two movements. One is rotation on its axis and other is revolution around the earth. Moon has two movements. One is moon rotating in its own axis and another is they revolving around the earth. The moon rotation takes 27.3 days. Means the moon rotating in its own axis, they take a 27.3 days, and the revolving around the earth, they take a 29.5 days. Means the moon actually takes 29.53 days to complete its cycle of phase from one full moon to the next one, because while the moon is orbiting the earth also move around the sun. This period is called month. Once again listen students, the duration taken by the moon to complete one revolution around the earth is called 1 month. Next, as the moon revolves around the earth, its position in relation to the sun changes from night to night. As a result, we can see the phases of the moon. The changes in the moon's visible phase is known as phases of the moon. When the moon is completely dark, we call it new moon day. When we see its bright side totally, we call it full moon day. Now one by one we have studied about first one, new moon day. This phase, you can see here students, that is a new moon day. You can see here in the image. This phase occurs when the moon comes in between the earth and the sun. This is called a new moon day. As the moon is not visible from the earth, this is called a Amavasya in India. Next is crescent moon. You can see here students, that's a crescent moon. It is the second phase of the moon, which appears approximately 2 to 3 days after the new moon day. During this phase, we see only a small part of the moon. Next in gibbous moon. During this phase, more than half of the moon is visible from the earth. It appears on about 10th day. Next, first quarter. During this phase, half of the moon is visible. It appears after about 7 days. Next, full moon day. During this phase, the sunlight falls completely on the moon's surface. Thus, the circular shape of the moon is visible from the earth. Purnima is the day when full moon is visible. We see the full moon once in every 28 days. Next is solar eclipse. Solar eclipse means Surya Grahan. Solar eclipse takes place on a new moon day, when the moon lies in a straight line between the earth and the sun. The moon's shadow falls on certain regions of the earth. For the people in these regions, the sun appears to be blocked for some times. This is called a solar eclipse. Solar eclipse means all solar eclipse takes place on a new moon day, when the moon lies in a straight line between the earth and sun, means when moon comes in between the sun and earth. The moon's shadow falls on certain regions of the earth. For the people in these regions, the sun appears to be blocked by the moon for some time. This is called a solar eclipse. There are several types of solar eclipse, like a total solar eclipse, annular solar eclipse, diamond ring eclipse, and partially solar eclipse. These are the different types of solar eclipse. Next is lunar eclipse, means Chandragrahana. A lunar eclipse takes place when the earth comes between the sun and the moon. If they lie in straight line, the earth's shadow falls on the moon. Then either the entire visible surface of the moon appears dark or a part of it appears dark. A lunar eclipse always takes place on a full moon night, but not on every full moon night. Lunar eclipse means a lunar eclipse takes place when the earth comes between the sun and the moon. If they lie in a straight line, the earth's shadow falls on the moon. Then either the entire visible surface of the moon appears dark, total lunar eclipse, or a part of it appears dark. A lunar eclipse always takes place on a full moon night, but not on every full moon night. A total lunar eclipse can last for a maximum duration of 1 hour and 45 minutes. So that is completed your lesson, students. I hope you have understand. In the next video we have learned question answers. Thank you, students.